Welcome to Hacked, the series where we scale all things feats, speed, and hacks. And the topic of today's video is the power of the hero hunter, Garou. Garou is a self-made monster brought about by the injustices of the hero system, which prioritized and continues to prioritize the noise. Meaningless material gain. And it's not hard to see how heroes manufactured by this corrupted system protect society, but why this is such a problem is made apparent by the Hero Association executives, those that the people trust the most, squandering the donations of those who seek protection. It is by society continuously rewarding corruption that the line between good and evil is blurred. And you'll notice that this is a repeated theme throughout the Monster Association arc. It is not simply that heroes are good and monsters are evil. Garou, maintaining his strong sense of self, makes him an entirely different beast from your average monster. He values the lives of the innocent, children, and protects them from harm, even if it could compromise his quest to become the ultimate evil. Where the average monster simply charges in a fit of rage, he is rational, skilled, and a genius martial artist, wielding weapons that can quite literally break heroes. Since he was a child, he possessed a sense of justice, and more importantly, fairness that had surpassed even the wisest of adults. A uniquely pure heart capable of empathizing with the weak and misunderstood, regardless of whether they were a human or monster. Playing heroes, he realized that it was always the popular kid given the role of hero, only for the kid disliked by many to be forced into the role of a monster. Many of these monsters were incredible beings that could be seen as no different from these good people, given different circumstances, and yet they were judged without a second thought, with no regard for just how easy it is for one to end up on the quote-unquote bad side. He scorned at the inequality of treatment towards the bad guy, those who were fated to be viewed mercilessly, surrounded and attacked under the worst odds imaginable. And that was when he concluded that if this society's concept of justice meant attacking the defenseless from a position of superiority, even if he had to become the embodiment of evil itself, he would play the role that nobody wanted to play, amass the fear of all, and shake society from the ground up with every resource at his disposal. There was no other option but to become the type of evil, but only true good, a being who represents how a hero ought to be, could take down. Despite being a hero hunter, Garou quite obviously had a sense of heroism greater than the heroes. For example, in hunting the A-class, he would often mention how a hero should always be ready to strike, using the fact that a hero was drunk to his advantage and taking him down as a result. They must also be unbound by social restrictions, as these things narrow down their fighting options and make them predictable. Every being in the hero guide fell victim to this, and no matter how great the number, they would be crushed beneath his finely honed fists. Now let's look at Garou's journey. Beginning with his martial arts training on the Bang, learning what he could and eventually stealing forbidden arts such as the fist of exploding heart liberation. Garou overcame adversity after adversity whilst merging every combat style into his new perfected martial art that could quite literally make humanity itself despair at a single glance. Tightroping the boundaries of life and death and undergoing monstification during his ascension to absolute evil. After hunting every hero imaginable and stealing everything and acquiring everything he could, taking the hand of God and becoming a god level threat as Cosmic Fear Mode Garou, he realized that there was one bald-headed man that for some reason he just could never beat, no matter the circumstances. A hero for fun that not only matched his ideal, but possessed the evolutionary ability to transcend it. Saitama, who completely removed his limiter, with just one hand, transcended Garou and used his zero punch to cross time and space, defeating him before the battle begun. Now before we get into his scaling, be sure to drop a like, as it helps massively to push this video out to more people and lets me know that you want more videos like this. In fact, if we go for 1,500 likes on this video and we can actually get it, I'll even scale Saitama. And whilst you're at it, drop a sub. Without further ado, onto the video. So just how strong is Garou? Beginning with his abilities, Garou is a genius of adaptability. Across his hero hunting journey and eventual monstification, he progresses from being able to read and parry a wide number of techniques from heroes of every class and varying in numbers, with many being after a few attacks to after just seeing them once, be it a martial art or something absolutely insane like telekinesis. He can adapt. Where things get really out of hand is after being completely overwhelmed by Saitama and being left with no choice but to take the hand of God. This is where his powers crossed into an entirely new domain. I remember seeing this whilst this arc was going on and having no idea what was happening. Keep in mind that with just his monstified martial arts alone, he was able to fire off attacks like the mega massive Fajin that could shift entire tectonic plates with enough force to destroy a moon larger than our own. Now some of it was removed in the redraw, but this This was insane. It quite literally threw the Earth's magnetic field out of whack. Now you think that's strong for martial arts? We're just beginning. By being the first self-proclaimed god level threat in the series, he obtained power that surpassed Monster King Orochi, whose lava cannon could potentially destroy a planet. And from all of his prior experiences, he developed one of the most overpowered abilities I have ever seen. A technique that would allow him to mimic the movements as well as borrow the strength of a being he encounters with modes, Shake. And yes, this includes never before seen moves, even the user's speed. To go a step further, he was able to use this on Saitama, which of course resulted in him being able to perform a serious punch that casually created a hole in space, debated to this day. I remember a lot of people were coping when the chapter came out, with people arguing that due to the distance we wouldn't be able to tell that the stars had been destroyed from Earth. Now don't get me wrong, I get that. The light that we're seeing on Earth is from bodies from years prior, just due to the absurd distance that it would take light to reach us. That's why things don't appear to change when they do. And that sound effect, the explosion sound effect, wouldn't exist if they're not destroying something. What would be the purpose of this? This is fiction, and how on earth are we supposed to see these kind of feats as manga readers? Octopuses can throw pebbles at close to the speed of light. We have allegedly light speed cockroaches. Floating small women who can casually turn the Earth's core into a spear exist. Garou, a few chapters prior, literally produces a gamma ray burst. But some of you guys draw the line at serious punch squared? Please make it make sense. Regardless, the hole in space was confirmed in the panel with the zero punch, and it's often argued that he had to have destroyed anywhere from a massive cluster of star systems to galaxy groups, which for those of you that don't know, would scale him anywhere from multi-solar system to multi-galaxy depending on who you ask. But Garou's strength doesn't end there, as not only can he effortlessly adopt and utilize all manner of styles within the cosmos, be it with bang and bombs key rendering air but by himself, to resonating and amplifying his attack potency of Metal Bat, Garou can counter his enemies with not just equal but double the attack potency of their attack. At some point we get so outside of the realm of reality that we see him copying the portals and gravity knuckles used by Blast. Garou also doesn't get enough praise for his terrifying kinetic vision in bright or dark environments, dealing with ricochet attacks, and going from being an aerial acrobat, which was insane as it was, to being able to fly in cosmic fear mode. He also passively emits cosmic radiation, and did I already mention that this walking star quite literally produced a gamma ray burst? One of the most energetic cosmic events in the universe. Of course, Garou doesn't have the size nor mass of an actual star, so his gamma ray burst would presumably be weaker. However, again, we're suspending some level of disbelief here because he seems to be able to perfectly copy any ability shown prior without having the exact same properties as that individual. So I don't think it's too much of a leap to conclude that he could produce the energy of an actual gamma ray burst. Now, although Garou didn't initially scale to all of the serious punch squared, which is a good point given that the destruction was a byproduct of his, Saitama, and Blast's efforts, he continued to adapt to a progressively and up to a certain point exponentially more powerful and serious Saitama before, of course, eventually no longer being able to keep up. Along with his terrifying abilities and attack potency, Garou's speed is perhaps even more ridiculous. This dude was able to surpass the light speed hero himself, Flashy Flash, and his greatest attack to the point where he conceded his own inferiority. And in this three-way battle between him and Platinum Sperm, oh, what a name for a villain.
Bro, what did you just say?
They produce the infamous light structure that, depending on the point of reference, can be scaled anywhere from tens to hundreds of times the speed of light. Now, don't even ask me how much time it took to scale this feat. I remember this being so much pain. Trust me, I will not give you the answer. Now, there's a pretty awful scale going around with the light structure on Jupiter that does try to make up a time frame which we're not given. And for those of you that don't know, the reasoning is called calc stacking, where you just take a value and you throw it in wherever it suits you.
You know, basically, you know,
This stuff is not good. Just don't do it. Using it, you could quite literally get a series that would ordinarily be, I don't know, hypersonic to massively faster than light. Yes, it's that bad. So anyways, I won't be going over that before anybody asks. Regardless, this legitimate feat, the one that we actually have, is supported by the flight back from Jupiter to Earth during his battle with Saitama, as well as how fast the shockwaves produced by Serious Punch Squared would have had to be to reach all of those celestial bodies in such a short period of time, which deserves a video on its own. Whoa, if there's one thing we can agree on, it's that Garou is ridiculously strong. If you enjoyed the video, of course, comment your favorite thing about Garou, or if you want a character analysis of this incredible character. The sort of idea I was thinking of was the hero hunter trope in shonen comparing Garou and Stain from My Hero Academia. Maybe a Saitama scale, I'd really love to hear it. All comments help the algorithm, so do your thing, drop a like, subscribe to, follow the IG and the TikTok. We're trying to get to 10K again. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.